Hello, Wildcat fans, and welcome back to another episode of Cat Chat. My name is Chris Wallace.
Looking snazzy, Chris.
Oh, why, thank you. I got my paw on, my paw.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
My name is Isabel Vanderpool.
And I'm Jenna Ladisars.
Hey, guys, how are you?
I'm great. It's cold outside. So.
Yes, it is.
It is cold, and I'm feeling so underdressed. Like, I'm going to just keep pointing it out today. Because I didn't know that we were taking Cat Chat to that level.
Right.
But apparently we are.
Sometimes you just got to take it there to let people know.
It looks nice. Don't get me wrong.
It does.
You know, we dress down. We get the job done here in the district.
Yes.
But sometimes you got to let some people know
You got a whole other side of you.
that we can clean up.
Yep.
And we're about
Heard.
business.
Heard.
Yeah, standing on it.
Oh.
Standing on business.
All right, guys. Well, anybody looking forward to Thanksgiving?
Me, I love to eat. I love all the food on Thanksgiving. I'm so excited. Can't wait.
Greens, beans, tomatoes, ham, chicken,
Oh.
bones. You know.
The remix. I love it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I love being around family.
Mm-hmm.
And the best part of Thanksgiving, tell me if I'm wrong, the best part is eating, falling asleep,
Yes.
and waking up and the family's still around and you taking your nap.
Yup.
Everything's going on and nobody missed you while you was taking your nap.
Just took a little 20-minute
Football's still on and
Yes.
it's time to eat again.
little siesta.
That is the best part of Thanksgiving.
Why is that like such a satisfying nap too?
Right?
Because it's that food coma sleep.
really
That's why it's so
is.
satisfying. That stuffing that stuffs you right there on the couch.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. I'm looking for leftovers.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm a big Thanksgiving leftovers person. Like, day of, absolutely fabulous. But like then the days that follow and you're eating like cold turkey, cold mashed potatoes, I don't even need to heat it up. Just cold.
I got you.
Yes.
That'd be a good little poll. See, when is it time to stop eating leftovers? What's the official cutoff date?
Is it December 1st?
Yeah.
Up for debate.
Right.
All right. Well, let's get into this month's High Five highlights, everybody.
Okay. High five.
First, we got to shout out Miss Molly Wags at Roosevelt, who was October's Cat Swag Peck winner.
Molly Wags. Wow. Molly Wags got the swags. Okay. I just rhymed. That was a bar.
Oh.
That was a bar. Okay.
Yes.
And here's what I noticed, everybody. If you're sending the high fives like days later, it's too late. Okay? Like everybody is on top of it. Same day, those are the people who get the Cat Swag Pack.
Word up.
As was Molly Wags. So, congratulations, Molly.
High five. Ooh, we got to get better.
Rusty.
A little rusty right there.
All right. Who is our first high five highlight?
Well, the first high five highlight is hee-haw, 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 hee-haw. Kenwood.
Yes.
Kenwood. They brought a donkey to Kenwood.
Yes.
A donkey showed up. And the whole thing about this donkey, they were talking about how donkeys bring books to people in other countries. This donkey was there and it spoke to everybody. No, I'm just joking. It didn't speak.
If only,
but
right?
It was a real cool experience for the kids to see a donkey and understand some of the important purposes of getting literature to people.
Yeah.
And donkeys can go places that cars cannot.
They sure can.
And they can get the job done.
And those pictures of the kids like giving the donkey a hug, so sweet.
That's awesome.
I mean, like big old bear hugs.
Big old bear hugs.
Yes.
Adorable.
So let's give the Kenwood donkey a hee-haw, hee-haw, high five.
That one was pretty good.
Well, because we just moved past October, we have to shout out all of our buildings who did breast cancer awareness activities.
Okay.
So specifically Lagonda, Fulton, Hayward, and, you know, all of those buildings in particular have breast cancer survivors as staff members. And so very important to them to celebrate that journey that all of those staff members went through. So I really love seeing all the pink outs and all of the ways that people were, you know, bringing awareness about it.
There's definitely a good month, always is a month to get out there and appreciate people and let people know you care. There's a lot of organizations throwing galas and different things like that. Think Pink, I had an inspirational speech there I spoke at. And just to see see other people that's not going through what they're going through, but showing up, being in person, show them they care, you know. So it's always good to have things like that happen.
Well, high five to those buildings for bringing awareness.
Oh, we on it now. We back.
Crispy.
We back.
All right. Well, the third one has to go to the School of Innovation because they went through kind of a mental health week where they had different activities each day of the week for the kids to do to just kind of like tune back in with your mental, make sure everything is going well there. So I know they painted pumpkins. They made slime. I don't know about y'all, but I love slime.
I love slime.
I love slime.
That's
Slime
so
is-
therapeutic.
Slime is so cool.
And then they did some yoga.
Oh, yeah.
So lots of different stuff that they did over there just to kind of check in with the kids around the holidays, right? Like we're getting into the time.
Yeah.
So I loved that. And I really wish I had some slime.
Shout out for the slime. The slime,
I
baby.
love slime. I feel like people are like, at your big age, you still like playing with slime?
Your big age.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
At
I
your
do.
big age.
At my,
Right.
Listen, I love playing with
We're going to let that one slide.
Uh-huh.
We're going to let the young one slide with her big age right there.
This feel like an enormous age over here if she's a
Right.
big age.
So,
Big age.
hey, tell us about your, well, you still got to high five them.
Yeah.
Right. So, big age. What was the big age kids doing at SHS?
So the big age kids,
Wild.
we had a Halloween party at the high school. There was trick or treat. There was a haunted house. Everybody had their faces painted.
Okay.
It was a lot of fun. It was really cool. People were dressed up. It was like, but not too much, because we couldn't like have the masks or anything.
Right.
They gotta identify you, but
Right.
it was fun. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it.
I love the haunted house thing.
Yes.
And people were dressed up?
Yes,
What
people
were you?
dressed up. I was like a cheetah. Like I was a cheetah.
Oh, nice.
I came like with cheetah face paint because Miss Cahoon was doing face paint at the high school. So
Cool.
that was a lot of fun too. But like for the haunted house, you had to have a canned good to go through. So that was really cool too.
I would have been a ghost from the future telling my teachers, you are supposed to give me an A.
Oh
it
my
will be
God.
detrimental if you do not. Please remember this. I have to go now.
to
I am
go.
from the future. Give me an A.
Give me an
Bye.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Did we high five?
High five. Boom. There we go. Fulton, during Principal Appreciation Month,
Yeah.
surprised their principal, Miss Howard, with a Michael Jackson rendition dance. And they did a doom 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 doom.
Chris has been waiting to do this. Like, we can move the table if you need.
Yeah, they did all of that.
It
right?
was so cute. Every grade did a different Michael Jackson dance.
That's awesome.
And different Michael Jackson song. Miss Howard had no idea.
No idea. Straight
clue.
surprised her.
Oh, yeah. They were like,
How
we
do
need
you
you in the
keep it?
cafeteria.
How do you keep it from a person that's so engaged with what's going on in her building? Because nothing gets by her in her building.
No.
Nothing.
But she has so much fun that day. Just being surprised by the kids. And like, the choreography was like intense.
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, they were doing the whole,
Yeah. That's why I was,
whatever you want to call it. Yep.
the part where they get the zombies. I was like, man, I wanted to be there.
Yes. So high five to Fulton. I love that.
Yes.
All right.
All right. Well, we're going to do a little something different, only because Miss Priscilla Gonzalez had a great suggestion, sent it to our email, and was like, y'all should do polls.
Okay.
So this month, we're going to do our first poll, and it's going to be, what is your favorite Thanksgiving dish?
Oh, no wonder we was talking about
We
greens,
were talking
beans,
the
tomatoes,
same stage.
ham, chicken, mom.
You can only pick one, Chris.
I want them all.
Right.
But, okay, I'll pick one.
Favorite Thanksgiving dish. Go.
Go right now.
Yep. Tell me. What is it?
Honey glazed ham.
It's so specific, but I love it.
Yes. Got to be honey glazed. I don't want it
Any
if it ain't got
brand?
the glaze. What is that? Honey baked? Isn't that?
Oh, like the place from Honey Baked
Honey
Ham?
baked ham. Yeah, I need that one.
Oh, okay.
I'll throw my own little pineapples and maybe a little extra caramelization on top.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
You know,
Okay.
and my smoked ribs. Yep, I said 2. So what?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Listen.
This is not a sponsorship for Honey Baked Ham Cafe.
No, it is not. Unless you're giving us one.
Right.
We'll put it right here and eat it on the next episode.
Yes.
Izzy, what's your favorite Thanksgiving food?
I would probably say I get really excited for the mac and cheese. I get
Valid.
very excited for the mac and cheese.
important.
But I really like stuffing. But if I had to pick between the two, probably mac and cheese.
Ooh, it's going to be a tough poll because I know everybody, everything has a great compliment on your plate.
Yes, it's like all very
Why,
different.
greens, beans, tomatoes,
Tomatoes.
ham, chicken, mom.
He's big about those green beans, but green beans are good too. Green beans
Yeah.
are good too.
Okay.
Baked beans, green beans, what you got?
Well, I'm that person who my favorite is cranberry sauce. Okay, see the looks. I didn't
Cut.
ask for that.
Cut.
Didn't ask for that.
Let's go to commercial
Yeah.
real quick. What are we doing here?
You can
Listen.
what
you
are we doing
can't
here?
tell me
Hold
that
on one
like
second. What are we doing here?
I don't just
know.
been ostracized.
Cranberry sauce? That's your favorite side of
Yes.
I can't wait for Thanksgiving to get some cranberry sauce.
Yes, because
All right,
okay,
folks.
but listen. Any other time of the year, you're not going out and getting cranberry sauce. You're just not.
That's so valid though.
So like,
Can we add on the poll also at the end of your vote how many think she's crazy for having that as her favorite dish?
you know what? My dad thinks the exact same thing. He loves cranberry sauce, but I mean, I don't.
favorite
you're
dish?
just you're not getting
Not
it any
favorite.
other
I'm
time.
okay, maybe I'm going to try some cranberry sauce.
Yeah. You know what?
I'm going to give it a check.
Okay, and
give it a
then-
try.
Sidebar question: do you all mix your Thanksgiving foods, or do you eat them separately?
Well, okay, I eat them separately, but like I'll take the fork and get some of this and get some of this and get some of this and then eat at the same time. But I'm not mixing it together.
Right. But it's kind of combined.
But
in
it's
one bite.
combined.
Some people just go
Yeah.
candy. I might have to go with candy yams, maybe my favorite. That's what I'm saying. None of them was cranberry sauce.
Okay.
Not one.
Shots fired. Got it.
Bang,
I knew it was
bang.
gonna be a hot take. I knew what I was walking into.
Okay. All right. Well,
Okay.
yeah.
So we want to know what's your favorite Thanksgiving
Yeah, what's
dishes.
y'all?
And
What
it's
are
okay if it's cranberry sauce, but we have a poll up at scsdoh.org/podcast poll. Please vote in the poll, and we'll share the results next episode.
Yes.
Cranberry sauce.
I'm gonna give you double points if you put cranberry sauce.
And I'm deducting.
We're in the
triple.
minority now.
Yeah.
All right, kids. Well, what do we have on the episode today?
Who you got?
I have Miss George from Kenwood.
Awesome.
I'm very excited to get to know her and ask her all about her teaching and how she was in the military. I'm excited. I'm excited to get to know her.
Yeah.
That's what I have today.
They always have an awesome Veterans Day celebration at Kenwood. She's a big part of that, so I think she'll have a lot to share.
Should be a great cat den happening segment
I'm
there.
excited.
I have a community connection. Mr. Kevin Rose is here to talk about Springfield 2051 project.
Nice.
Kind of talking about where we want to be as a city and as a community in the year 2051.
That is so hard to think about.
Talking about big age.
Yes.
Big age.
Talking about big age. We gonna be big age.
The BATS organization.
I saw you
Yes.
have some there.
Yes, has a lot to do
Yes.
with learning about the 2051 project. We're learning about it a lot right now in our meetings.
What does BAT stand for?
Bring awareness to students.
Bring awareness to students.
So
Nice.
yes,
That's
Yes,
awesome.
I saw your face in the picture.
yes.
I can't wait to ask him about some of that.
Yeah. Well, I have a little bit of a different alumni segment today. Natalie Fritz from the Historical Society is coming on, and she's just kind of like rapid firing, hey, did you know these people were from Springfield? So, I assume she's going to talk about Davy Moore and some of those, more common names, but I think there are also a few names she's going to bring that people may not know. So
That's cool.
I'm excited. Because, as much as we love John Legend, and John, you were always invited on the podcast, there are so many others as well who I think people don't realize are from this little place we call home.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
We need to get into that. So let's get into it.
Yes.
And we'll be right back and starting Cat Chat now.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Cat Chat. I am here with Miss George, a teacher at Kenwood Elementary School. So let's just start with you telling me a little bit about yourself.
Okay, I teach third grade at Kenwood. I am originally from Georgia, and I joined the Air Force out of college or during college. And when I got out, I had my kids, and I got out of the Air Force, and we moved to Dayton when they were starting kindergarten. And I started subbing, and now I'm teaching. And so I've been here about 10 years, 11 years at Kenwood.
Okay.
Been in Ohio 20 years?
Okay, so you were in the Air Force.
I was.
That is so cool. The military is so cool. I love hearing about the military. When people tell me, like, I was in the Navy, I was in the Air Force, I'm like, I don't know anything about it. So can you tell me a little bit about what you guys do in the Air Force, what you did, how it was?
Sure. I was like you. I had two uncles that were they were both chiefs in the Air Force. And I had never thought of doing anything like it. I grew up in a one stoplight town. I went to a college an hour away, and I ended up going to, I got a flyer about paying for my school if I go to ROTC.
Okay.
So I went over there, and I like to say I never said no. I didn't say yes, but I didn't say no. So I was a finance major, and I was doing, I went to this meeting for ROTC, and I started going, and the biggest thing was I had to get in shape.
Okay.
Because I couldn't even run halfway around a track. I was not an athletic person. So I went from not being athletic to running 8 miles a day.
Okay, wow.
That was not required, but that was just, you get addicted. I wasn't the fastest, but I would just go a little faster each day.
Right.
Or a little further, not faster, never faster. So I, like I said, I didn't know much about it, but because I was a junior at the time, I was so I only did 2 years of ROTC, and I did, you go to a camp, you go to classes during college, so you have an extra class. And then we went to camp over the summer.
Right.
I cracked my hip the first year, so I had to go back the second summer.
Okay.
But then when I joined the Air Force, they sent me to school. I lived in Georgia. My first assignment was in Mississippi, Biloxi, Mississippi.
Okay.
And then I had to go to Texas to a tech school to learn about my job.
Right.
So I was a finance officer. At the time, that meant I was in charge of the military pay, civilian pay, and travel pay.
Okay.
Then I went from there to, I guess Nebraska, where I went and worked in the budget side. So I did the budget side of finance. So I was in when 9/11 happened, and I was supposed to get out because by then I had both children, and they were almost 1 and almost 2. And so I was getting out, and then a stop loss happened, so I had to stay in. But it was crazy. I mean, it was just like, as far as what you do, like, it's kind of like finance was clearly more of like an office job. But there are sides to it, like chem warfare training or just different kind of trainings that you had to go to because you had to be the mission critical. You had to be war ready. Trying to think what else. As far as what I did, when I was in college, I got to go up in they called it an incentive ride. So I flew in an F-16.
That's so cool.
That was very cool. Another one of the training things while I was still in college, so my second summer, I went and I can't remember if it was T-37 or T-38. I feel like it was T-37, but I got to land it. I found out I'm not very good at it. I also get motion sickness, so it just wasn't.
Yeah.
I was not made to be a pilot.
Yeah.
But so it's not, I mean, it's, you wear with blues, wear your uniform, or you wear the camouflage, we call them BDUs. But I participated in different kinds of like training exercises or competitions. They had one called Top Dollar, and so we went to Arkansas.
Oh wow!
And we played games. They weren't like board games. They were like field exercises, like role playing type things,
right.
and as if we were overseas. But
okay,
so it's very cool.
So then you came back and you became a teacher.
Yes.
So how was that switch? Was it hard to make that switch to come and teach and like,
I wouldn't say it was hard because by then, like I said, I had gotten out. I was out for 3 years. And so I'd stayed home with my kids and they were going to school. So then I kind of eased into it because I started subbing and then, or volunteered, then I subbed, and then I came back so I made that transition and going to school. So it was hard going back to school at that age. But as far as the transition, I mean, I'm not organized, but I do prefer order. So my room is a mess, but my kids know my expectation. And like I have expectations and I believe in setting the bar high and then kids will go to that. But yeah, I wouldn't say it was hard. It is very different. It's almost like sometimes I think back and it feels like a lifetime ago.
Yes.
And in some ways, I guess it was, but yeah.
So have you only taught 3rd grade or have you taught other grades?
No, I did a lot of teaching in kindergarten when I started. That was where I subbed the most. That was where I was comfortable with. My kids were kindergartners when I started doing stuff. And then I subbed everywhere from kindergarten up to 5th, but mostly I did kindergarten, and then I did my student teaching in 2nd grade. And then when I started here, I was in 1st grade, and I loved 1st grade. And then I got moved to 3rd grade, I guess about 6 years ago, and I did not want to go to 3rd grade. I was like, no. But I mean, I do. I love it. It's been very different. I don't know that it would be as easy to go back now to the little one because I'm so used to, they can read more, they can do more, they're more independent. But yeah, I like them little.
Yeah.
But that was a concern. Like, well, what if I like them little now? Because my kids are little. What if I like them little.
Yeah. I heard that you are very big about the veteran holiday thing that you guys do at the elementary school. So I really want to hear about that.
Okay. I can't take credit for it. It was happening when I started working at Kenwood. They've been doing it forever. But it was very cool. It's a very cool thing to see because, like I said, sometimes you forget. I mean, you just get in your usual daily, like I don't think about my time in the military every day.
Right.
So you get used to, like you don't think about it so much. So it's kind of cool to see on that day. And the kids are so funny. Like, I mean, you just found out your teacher who you think lives at school. This also wasn't a lifetime ago. It was, and especially when I bring in the photos of the F-16 or, the cooler parts. I mean, my everyday job was probably not the most cool, but there was a lot of aspects to it. And there's, the hidden part and the friendships and the camaraderie and just the teamwork. But for them to see that, and that's one thing I think is really cool because we have 4 staff members, I believe now, that are in the military, or not in the military. We used to be in the military, not anymore. So it's very cool for them to see all the different branches that are represented, but also they celebrate the families that come in. So the kids are invited to invite a veteran. So they'll bring grandparents, and so it's very cool. We get to bring those people in from the community. And I mean, we have is it air base? Or they're not air base near, in Springfield, plus we have Air Force Base and, right that. So that community, we are more of a military town. And so I think getting to showcase that and just for the kids to see, like on the other side, that college is not the only way to get to, when you graduate, whether you're working at McDonald's, whether you're going to college, whether you're going to be a hairstylist or whether you're going to join the services, all of those jobs, you need to know how to read. You need to know math. And it's just kind of cool how it all ties together, I guess.
I love that. So the activities that they do, they do activities during the day. Yes. What are some of the activities that they do?
So we have a ceremony. I mean, it's more of a ceremony. So we prepare beforehand, and different grades do different things. We make letters for the veterans. And so they'll either be handed out to the veterans that come. We also have a big partnership with Kiwanis. So they come, and a lot of them have been in the military. So it's kind of just a really big circle. But We have music works on songs. So the kids do singing. We invite the band. And of course, the band is like bringing in superstars for the kids. So they think that's cool. So the band comes, they play all their cool songs. They play a lot of patriotic songs. And then they have, we try to get the ROTC, and I'm not sure totally if this year we got them on time, but they come and do the honor, the flag. So we do the Pledge of Allegiance every day at school,
right?
But to then see it as part of the ceremony. And so we learn about the different branches of the service. And then I'm trying to think, the reason I brought the Quantians, the K Kids Club this year, they made blankets for the veterans.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and they're very cool. They're like,
that's
very
cool.
pretty.
Yeah.
So it's, at each grade level is doing something, and then it all comes together. So the kids are we're guiding, but they're really active participants in it.
That is so cool. I love that. So I thank you so much for telling me about everything you did in the military. I think it's so cool to learn about stuff like that. And I bet this will be so inspiring for other people to be motivated to do things like this, just about how you talked about the physical wear and tear and how much work and effort you put into it. So I think that's so cool. And thank you.
Thank you for having me. It was very nice to meet you. You are you're very good at this.
Thank you so
very well spoken. So
thank you.
You put me at ease. And all right.
We'll be right back on Cat Chat.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Cat Chat. I am here with Natalie Fritz today of the Clark County Historical Society. And our featured alumni segment is going to be a little different today, which I'm really excited about. So, typically we have an alumni sitting here with us. They kind of walk us through their story. But Natalie is here to actually walk us through 8 different alumni from Springfield, deep roots in the community with a lot of different backgrounds. So I'm excited because a lot of them will be familiar to you all. But I think some of them will be surprises too, and just to learn more about each of them. So thank you for being here today.
No problem. I'm happy to be able to share the stories because, that's a lot of what I do with my job. I'm the archivist and the outreach director, so a lot of my time is spent doing research, helping people do research on their families or their homes or whatever. So, and I do all of our social media postings that are usually featuring local historical figures. And going back through all the ones that I've done over the years, I realized that there was a ton that were people that were went to the Springfield City Schools, graduated from Springfield High, North, South, whatever. So there's a lot to talk about.
So how did you first select the ones that you wanted to talk about today? How did you go about making that distinction?
Basically, I just went through to try to see which ones we had talked about in the past and which ones I could share, knew a little bit more detail about when they had gone to school, where they had gone to school, and then what they did afterwards. And some of these are bigger names that a lot of people may know, but a lot of what we have in our archives are, I always tell people, it's just, people's stories waiting to be told. We collect everybody's history. You didn't have to do something like major or be famous or have a lot of, because everybody's stories are important here in the community. So we try and collect as much as we can. But I did pick some of the ones that would be more well-known, that people would have heard of them or something that they were a part of.
Well, I think our community is so cool in that way because, all of these people truly go off into the world. And then, you kind of have this full circle moment where there is a Springfield tie in some way, shape, or form. And I know I've experienced that several times in my life. So I think we just have a very rich history in our community, and it affects so many people, right? The interworkings of the web. Yeah. So it's exciting.
Yeah.
All right. So the first one is probably one of the most well-known. So yes. I'll let you take it from there.
So the first one is the only living one on the list. John Legend is a very big Springfield graduate. And the funny thing I always thought about it was in our archives, the original folder that was on him was John Stevens spelling bee winner because he won the district spelling bee when he was like 10 years old. And then above that, somebody had written, AKA John Legend, R&B superstar. So originally we started collecting, stuff, him in the news because, of how smart he was. And he was so advanced that he started at Springfield North High School when he was only 12 years old. And he graduated at 16. And he was the salutatorian, and I think he was prom king, and he was also the class president. So he was really involved in everything too. I know that we've found, gone through the yearbooks that we know he's in Define. He was in drama club and in the shows and things like that. So that's kind of fun. And he's, really given back to the Springfield community. Even, he gave a lot of the money for the John Legend Theater to be completed more than 10 years ago. So he's still giving back to the community that he was part of. And he's one of very few EGOT winners that got an Emmy, a Grammy, an Oscar, and a Tony. So that is a huge deal. So he's, big things that he's done coming out of Springfield. So.
Absolutely. Happy to have him as part of our alumni base. Very exciting.
So another one is Jonathan Winters. He was a big-time comedian. He died, I think, about in 2013. But he went to Springfield High School and left in 1943 during World War II to serve in the Marines.
Oh, wow.
And returned and graduated with the class of 1944. And he got the Mark Twain Prize for Humor. I know kids today might know him as his last job that he did was he was the voice of Papa Smurf in the newer Smurfs movies. So that's how younger people might know who he is. But he was on Mork and Mindy, and he did lots of great stuff, and was very, very funny man. He lived at the house on Limestone. Well, it's now Littleton and Rue Funeral Home, but that was his family home that they built that big house for the family he grew up in. And there's like a little, like kind of dollhouse, playhouse there that a lot of people remember that was built for his mother and aunt when they were kids growing up there. So I just think that's a neat connection that, people know that that's where he grew up.
So interesting that he had that kind of military background and then went on to do like voice acting.
Yeah. Well, everybody that I have talked to that knew him said he was always funny. He was always joking. He was always doing voices and like making things up. He was really good at improv and doing impressions and things like that. So they remember him being very funny as a kid. And we've got a picture of him like he was a choir boy at, I think, I can't remember which church, Christ Episcopal maybe. But he looks like he's a troublemaker in the picture. So like he was definitely like a class clown.
Nice.
So...
Okay, all right. So we've got John, we've got Jonathan.
Yeah.
Okay, who's next?
There's Elena Reed Hall. She was on Sesame Street, so a lot of people know her as Olivia back in the day on there. And she was class of 1964 from Springfield South, and that was after the schools had split. So she was from South. And she was on 227, another sitcom. And she always said that she thought that Sesame Street was the best thing she did because she knew she was reaching kids through that. But we know she loved Springfield, and she talked about when she came back to visit, she would try and see as many friends as she could and make sure she went to Schuler's Donuts.
Naturally.
And then we've got sports figures that I talked about. Yeah. Davy Moore. Went to Kiefer Junior High, and then he actually left school early and started boxing professionally very early. We found, I think he lied about his age a little bit to be able to get into, but he was a featherweight and welterweight champion who won more than 50 bouts or close to 60 bouts. And he sadly died very young and early in 1963 from injuries from a fight. But there's a lot in town that to help keep his memory.
Absolutely.
There's the statue. The Davy Moore Park on the south side. The statue sits right in the middle on Limestone by the school, and so there's a lot to keep his memory alive. And his good friend was Johnny Lytle, who also. I didn't know
they were friends.
Yeah, so they were good friends, and they boxed together in the late 40s and early 50s. And Johnny Lytle, later after Davy Moore died, he wanted to create an African American museum on the South Side and Cultural Center to keep his memory alive, named after him. But he had been collecting stuff, but it had a fire in the early 90s, and that didn't really continue. But Johnny Lytle he also went to Kiefer, and he graduated from Springfield High School. And he originally was doing boxing, but he's known for being a vibraphone player, jazz musician. And he said that he preferred to play the vibes because he could hit them and they didn't hit back. So but he was very famous around the world, and they called him Fast Hands because he was so fast on the vibraphone. And his last performance was at the Kuss not long after it opened, the Clark State Performing Arts Center in 1995, which was not long before he passed away. But now they have, I think, Johnny Lytle Street over on the south side was the street that he grew up on, and it's named for him. And then just like 2 weeks ago, they the new statue outside the Clark State Performing Arts Center is Johnny Lytle statue done by Mike Major, and that is to honor his memory. So
very cool. So, okay, we've made it through about 5, lots of sports, lots of entertainment.
Another sports figure is Alice Lefty Holmeyer. And I don't know, for people that have seen A League of Their Own, the movie with Tom Hanks and the women playing baseball during World War II, that was part of an era when most of the men had gone off to fight. So they had women's teams to keep baseball alive. And Alice Holmeyer played on one of those American Women Baseball League teams. And she was, and if you watch the movie, Rosie O'Donnell's character is based after her.
Okay,
and so
good to know.
So she would have gone to school in the early 40s. And then another sports figure is Ron Burton. He was a football player. He went on to play for, it was called then the Boston Patriots, which is now the Patriots. Patriots.
The Patriots franchise, yeah.
But he started his own training village to help disadvantaged youth, and they still have like an award, annual community service award that they give out in his name.
Very well known.
And then there was another guy. He was well known for sports when he went to Springfield High School, but he was James A. Rhodes was 4-time governor of Ohio, and he graduated from the class of 1930 and was a basketball star back then. But he went on to do a lot for the state of Ohio with parks and new universities and expanding roads in the infrastructure during his 4 terms. So he did a lot for the state of Ohio and was very well known for that. So.
Well, and it's so cool to me to hear, you go through each of these people and, again, going off to do such great things, but they started here. Yeah. Right. So again, for all of those people who are just thinking, all we have is John Legend. Yeah. So not true. I mean, this is just 8, right? Yeah. Like there are so many others that we could have gone through today. Right. Because of the history.
And a lot of the biographies that we write, we just have, some of the people that are even earlier, we know they went to Springfield schools, but we might not know the details of that. So that would be, even more research. We could find that there's, all these people that we talk about have definitely, Springfield City Schools roots. So.
What is the most exciting or rewarding part for you in your role, getting to do this every day?
I love doing research. It's kind of fun. It's like detective work, just kind of finding little bits and pieces about people, going through newspapers, finding pictures of them, kind of like making those connections to, oh, that's why this is named after this, or, that kind of stuff. So that's a lot of fun. And I just really like helping people that are doing their own research to find like their families or figure out more about their houses or things like that. I think all that's a lot of fun. Yeah. That's kind of my favorite part of the job is getting to do the research side of it and then sharing it, in different ways. So this is a new way to share some of that information. So that's kind of fun.
And, we were talking before we got started about, just really how expansive all of your collections are at the Historical Society. How can people access those if they haven't been and like to visit?
So, I work mostly in the Research Library and Archives, which is open to the public, and we're open Wednesday through Saturday. And we are up on the 3rd floor under the clock tower. So we've got a big room up there with research tables and stuff. And we can bring out boxes of stuff for people to look at. So if someone says, hey, I want to see a bunch of old historic photos, we've got tons of stuff that we can bring out for them. We've got lots of we've got for local businesses, for local clubs. We've got lots of huge education collections. So we have pretty much all the yearbooks from Springfield High School, so north and south, and then the current, recombined school. And then, but what we don't have a lot of is like middle and elementary school yearbooks. Those are ones we don't have as much of. But yeah, we accept those when we get them. But usually when people say, hey, do you need any more yearbooks from the city? We're like, we're good. We got them all.
Right.
But we also collect for the whole county. So we've got, county yearbooks and educational materials and things like that too. So
Do you find that a lot of people are coming to do like genealogical searches, or is it more
we
just
get a
kind
lot.
of-
Yeah. Family history is probably our biggest. And then house history is the other one. People have bought a new house, have lived in their house forever, want to know more about it, things like that. We can help people find, who lived there, what did they do, that kind of stuff. So those are probably the two main things that we get. But we get a lot of people from local organizations or companies that are trying to they've got a big anniversary coming up. So they're trying to find more about their anniversaries or things like that. So, or more about their history. So we've got that kind of stuff to help people.
Very cool. Well, if someone sees this and they want to come visit you all at the Heritage Center, where can they find you?
We're on the third floor. So the museum's on the first and second floor, the middle part of the building. We're on the third floor on the east side under the clock tower. So people can come. We prefer they make an appointment. Like if I'm out for things like this, that means there's not necessarily an archivist there to help them. But we also have great volunteers that can help, jump in and answer questions and help people with stuff. So
very cool. Well, thank you so much for sharing all of these biographies today. Again, just kind of a different take on our featured alumni segment, but I think it's just so interesting. All of these different people and their walks of life came from right here. Well, Natalie, thank you so much for being on
Thanks
Cat
for
Chat.
having me.
We'll be right back.
Hello, folks, and welcome back to Cat Chat. I'm Chris Wallace, and welcome to our Community Connection segment, where today we have Mr. Kevin Rose. How are you, Kevin?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm doing great. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
So I'm a historian with the Turner Foundation, where I've worked for getting close to 23 years.
A good historian, by the way. A good one.
Thank you. And my role there is really how we use our history, how we use the past for our future. Mm-hmm. So a lot of that is cultural tourism and bringing people into this community, but it's also about creating place and creating identity within this community, talking about our past, good and bad, to make sure all of our citizens kind of know where we came from and how we use that to build community moving forward.
Awesome. And speaking of where we came from and a community building forward.
Yes.
Right? I want to talk about Springfield 2051. I've been to some meetings. There's some stuff that was a little over my head, right? Which was okay. There's some things that was right up my alley.
Yeah.
Tell us about exactly what Springfield 2051 is.
Yeah. So it started with conversations with my wife and I. My wife is Marta Wojcik at the Westcott House, the longtime director and curator at that institution. I also, by the way, work at the Hartman Rock Garden. So we both work at sites that get a lot of visitors from out of the state, certainly out of the region. It's really the how these organizations exist is bringing these people into our community. And after the events of 2024, kind of Springfield being through the ringers, right, in national and international media, we were noticing a drop in visitorship. We were also just noticing kind of a morale, not just with visitors, but with our volunteers, with our boards. And it felt like the energy was so low and people were really down on Springfield. And frankly, we just don't think there's reasons to be down. We're not saying everything's great in this community, but this community is doing a lot of things right.
Just like any other community.
Exactly. And so we started talking, just the two of us, and then we brought in another resident and talked to her, and then it became 3, and then we held a meeting with some colleagues and became 12. Then we held a large community session that had about 60 people. And really all of this was just organic outreach. It was people that we thought were doing really good work in this community, trying to represent all aspects of the community and just having a discussion about where we're going. And the beginning of it was really a lot about PR, the perception that we had, or the perception that other people had about our community is how it started. And then in those discussions, people were like, well, it also means a lot about how we feel about ourselves, how we're presenting ourselves, how we're communicating to our own audiences on perception. But then the reality is, if we're going to talk perception, we also need to talk about the reality on the ground. And the reality is, things have been improving, but there's a lot of work we need to do as a community. And we really felt that we needed to build community through all of this. So what started as a simple idea, I think, and this is how I think a lot of great things happen. And I'm not saying this is great yet. I think it has the potential of being great, this project and its role in the future of our community. But they start with small discussions, and then you bring other people in, and they blossom, right? And they turn into larger discussions. And what it really is now is it's focusing on trying to create a roadmap forward for our community. But in the process of doing that, building community while it does it. Because if not everyone in this community feels included in this process and feels included in the effort to build community, then we're not going to be successful on trying to make a difference.
Absolutely. So talking about inclusion and bringing people in, what are some of the ways that you guys have tried to continue to engage? Because it's grown. Dramatically. And I've witnessed that. I've been a part of that growth. But what are you still trying to do? What are some of the strategical ways that you are trying to do to engage with the community to continue to get information out to our members?
I would say the most important is just making sure that the leadership team represents the whole community. So we have an advisory group that they said they're like, well, it should have like 30 people on it. I think we have 70 now. And in some ways that can be trouble, but we were just like, well, this community is not represented, right? And it wasn't just a certain ethnicity or a certain background. It was really making sure it was parts of the community, sections of the community, different types of leaders within different groups. And people would step up and be like, hey, I want to be more involved. And we're like, sure, let's do it. So I think one of the reasons we've been as successful as we've been on reaching broad, diverse audiences in Springfield is the advisory committee represents that. And it's not just what we think of as traditional leaders. So a lot of the people in the room come from various sectors, and not everyone in that room knows each other. And I think in past projects, when you'd have a leadership team together, all these people knew each other pretty well. But because this is so broad, there's a lot of introductions because people just don't know, especially a lot of the younger professionals that are doing good work. I'm actually been surprised at how many of the younger professionals, people that are coming out of Springfield City Schools and are becoming dynamic leaders in our community, are not maybe connected to the older generation and using this project to try to introduce people. But really then going to those communities and saying, listen, we want to hold listening sessions. We want to hold visioning sessions in your community. And by that, I mean at their church, at their place of work. We've had sessions at McGregor Metalworking. We've had sessions down at Nettie Carter Smith's Core down on Southern Avenue. We've had sessions all the way up into Northridge, where I swear I'm getting practically close to Urbana at that point, right? I live right off downtown on the south side of Springfield. So parts of Springfield that I'm not often in. And really just making sure if you want to get people involved, they need to know this spot. It can't just be in this central location where they've never been. It needs to be in their neighborhood, at their place of employment, at their house of worship. So we've really been doing a lot of those sessions. I don't even know how many sessions we're at. Probably now between meetings and sessions, we're well over 50. We've involved in actual sessions, probably close to 600 people. I think unique people. A lot of those people are coming back from multiple sessions. So the numbers are higher than that. But if unique citizens getting involved and spending an hour in discussion, that's about where we're at. But we want to get a lot higher than that, right? We want to include as many people as possible in the process.
Can you speak on how imperative it is to get the youth involved, and what have you done to include the youth? Because we're talking about the year 2051. And if we want it to be where we want to be in 2051, we have to talk to these youth.
Exactly.
So what are we doing for that?
So a lot of those are meeting people where they're at. So we've had sessions, 2 sessions at Springfield High School, which have been tremendous. One with the BATS organization. And that was, I mean, if I don't know of another thing that's given me more faith in our community than meeting with those young, talented students. I mean, I was blown away. I think altogether, no offense to the other sessions that have happened elsewhere in Springfield, but that was my favorite. Just the positivity. And it's not that everything was positive. They were talking about troubles. They were talking about issues, but they were talking about solutions. And to get people that are talking about solutions, right, and not just problems, was tremendous. And tremendous coming from high school students. I was really excited about that. We also had one with Springfield High School athletes. I was not at that session. So that one, okay, you were there. My son had a soccer game.
I had the same type feeling that you had. Good. Man, we're in some good hands.
I felt that it was appropriate to be at my son's soccer game while we were meeting with athletes at the school. So we both, neither my wife and I were not there.
Shout
she was there at the
very
beginning.
David, David, what's David's last name?
Oh, David Burrell. Yeah.
David Burrell. Shout out to David Burrell. He facilitated that one.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I heard really good things about that session. Since then, we've had other students involved. We've had students from Montessori. They've been bringing their students. They have a bit of a flexible environment there, and they were able to bring students to some of the community sessions. We had sessions at OIC, which was eye-opening. I mean, these are students that are coming with a different lived experience than a lot of other students. And to get their perspective, I was nervous going into it. Is it going to be productive, right?
Yeah.
And it was. It was really productive. And just a great session. We had a equally great session at CTC. And we want to be doing more. We've been reaching out to some of the county schools because we want to make sure they're involved as well. Altogether, I think the youth voice in this has been strong for one, but also really productive. Some of the language we're using as we reach out to people is language directly from the mouths of students. We've been using one of the comments that came up in the BAT session was that this student really thought that in the future, diversity could be our superpower. And that was her line. And we've been talking about that because it really can be our superpower because Springfield has been diverse. As a historian, I can say Springfield's been diverse basically back to our founding. We've become more diverse over time, but we've been a diverse community for over 200 years. And it has kind of been a superpower, or it could have been more of a superpower if we leaned into it. And it was a great comment. So we've been taking those high school comments from high schoolers and putting them back to other sessions, to retirees, and saying, we heard this from high school students. What do you think?
Right.
And for the most part, I think people agree. They might not agree on 100%, but what's amazing, especially I think when you're looking at local community, is sometimes we can get distracted by the national discourse and people kind of on this side and this side. Often when it comes to local politics, local movements, people are pretty much aligned. They know where they want to go. They might have deviations on where they want to some of that, but for the most part, a majority of the community is aligned in where it wants to go.
I agree. And I think it's a great time to it's a great way that you're doing a fabulous job. You and the members who are starting this doing a great job of getting all aspects of this together. So how can members who are listening to this saying, man, this sounds great, how can they get involved with Project Springfield 2051?
Yeah. So one is just attending sessions. We have a saying in our household that the world is run by those who show up. And it's amazing the voice of people who show up at sessions, right? If you show up, you get your thoughts up on the boards and those
How do they
sessions.
find out where a session
So that
is?
would be springfield2051.com.
Okay.
It has all of the sessions that happen. Also then hosting sessions. So if it's people that are in a position for either youth organizations or other things that want to host sessions, whether that's with our consultant who's coming in out of Minneapolis, or whether it's other community citizens that want to get together and hold sessions, that's the best way to get involved, is just being present in those things and making your voice heard.
So it's Springfield 2051?
Springfield2051.com.
Springfield2051.com. If you want to get involved, right? If you don't just want to sit on the sideline, you want to be part of the solution, not the problem. Springfield2051.com. All right? Kevin, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Continue this great work.
Yeah, thank you.
You are the epitome of it takes a village.
Yeah.
You are doing it. And word on the street, you know everything about everything. And
History.
I can agree with that.
History, I know quite a bit.
When it comes to history, I agree with it.
But other than that, I know, like I was just telling a group the other night, I don't know how to change the oil in my car, but I can tell you all about the 1820s in
That's
Springfield.
right.
So, yeah.
That's right. Well, hey, I thank you for coming on Cat Chat. We appreciate you, and good luck with this project.
Thanks so much.
We'll be right back on Cat Chat.
And we're back with the ending of Cat Chat. Everyone, as always, what a fantastic job. Fantastic show.
So
Awesome.
much fun.
Learned so much.
Yes.
We had a whole segment of Cat Chat with historians on here, pretty much, between Kevin and your guests as well. Yeah, a lot of history, a lot of historians on the stage today. So
Great.
really appreciated that.
Well, and even Miss George with
Yes.
Izzy, talking about her background in the military, yes, very historical-ish focus today.
Yes, yeah.
Not
it was
intentional,
pretty cool.
but hey, whatever, we rock with it.
A learning
Yeah.
moment. Got to learn so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I always
It was
enjoyed
big. It was a big age moment.
Big
today.
age
Big
moment.
age
It was
moment.
a big age
Big age moment. Only thing we were missing is cranberry sauce.
Right.
It's the only thing we were missing.
Y'all are hateful. Hateful. And
Little
you know
cranberry
what?
sauce has been the best episode ever.
Okay. So your office is right across the hall from mine. So check
I'm
yourself.
about to have some cranberry sauce in my office tomorrow, I bet.
You don't even understand.
Do you heat it up or do you cool it off?
Do you heat
what
it
is
up?
I don't eat cranberry sauce, so I'm wondering too.
Where does it go? I know it's a nice, pretty part of the dish that just
Out
goes.
of the can and
You just like,
Plop.
do you mix it? Do you like?
okay.
Just plop it all around
I'm
those
so
beautiful
sorry. I
side
even spoke up
dishes.
today.
Let's stay on task. I'm sorry,
Yes.
folks. Old cranberry sauce has been hanging out today.
Listen, I am sorry that I made the poll. Okay.
Oh, my
we will
goodness.
start a side poll that's like, is this crazy? Yes or no? What side of the cranberry fence are you on?
Yeah.
Hey, I love it. I love it.
Well, I
But it
hope-
was a great show, though.
Yes, and I hope everyone is getting ready for the holiday season.
That's right.
Going right into it. Thanksgiving, Christmas, it's all going to be here before we know it.
Yep.
much fun.
It is here. It is rolling. You can smell it in the air. You can smell the cold air. And
Put my coat on. No, thank you.
Yes.
you're going to walk through the shopping center and hear chestnuts roasting on an open fire. And then you know
You
it's
really
time.
just want to sing today.
Yep.
Yes.
Just call it what it is.
Cranberry sauce on your plate. All right. I'm sorry. We're done, right?
Sorry, we're
It's a
done.
great episode. I've had such a blast today.
I don't have anything else to say, so y'all got it from here, okay?
What you got?
I don't got nothing. I don't have anything.
You don't have anything?
I don't have anything.
No parting thoughts?
No
I do.
parting
Folks,
thoughts.
try cranberry sauce. We really hope you enjoyed
Such a hater.
the episode.
I need to try cranberry sauce
Yes.
now, though. Because, like, I never in the Thanksgiving, Christmas have ever tried it.
Yeah, we got to
Never.
try it.
Never, ever.
And if you tried
I
it,
see it.
we should see it on the poll, right?
Right.
Tell them about the poll
Oh,
again.
it's on the poll. Best believe it's on the poll.
How to vote on the poll.
Okay, so 2 things you can do, all right? You can always do the high five highlights, as we encourage every month. Get your cat swag pack like Molly Wags. And you can vote in our first podcast poll at scsdoh.org/podcast poll.
That is
And you
awesome.
can vote on your favorite Thanksgiving dish. Next month, we'll have another question. But thanks to Priscilla Gonzalez for giving us that suggestion. That was awesome.
Yes.
Big shout out. Big shout out.
And you can choose cranberry sauce, and no one will hate you for it.
That's right. We might sing about it, but
Yeah.
we won't hate you.
Yeah.
All right.
100%.
All right.
Well, that's it, kids.
All right.
Okay. We'll see you next month, everybody. Thanks for watching Cat Chat.
Peace.